Hello, my name is Mateusz Surma and this is the game played against Kim Minseong. Yeah, I played with black and here is the game. Yeah, this white's move is not very popular, but yeah, it's also one of the Joseki, so that white takes the corner, but black gets center. So after this exchange, this is center for black, and black doesn't necessarily need to answer now. Here, like it might look like black still needs to answer, so many people would be interested in playing, for example, somewhere here, but I think it's not that necessary. This shape, which is here in the top left, quite strange shape for black. It's not very heavy, not very strong either. And for example, if we compare it to some other shape, like if black had here these two stones, if I was playing with black, now I would like to add some stone. Why? Because if white plays anything around, for example, something like this, then if at some point white will be able to attack this group and kill it, then it's quite big because there are more black stones invested already there. So it's difficult for black to play in a way that this group can be just sacrificed at some point. But without these two stones, if the shape looks like this, now this group is like still relatively light. There are not that many stones from black there. So if something happens that this group needs to be sacrificed, it's not such a big deal. So at this point, if for example I play Tenuki, I played in the game I played here at q6, and if white tries hard, for example, to attack it like this, I don't need to worry that much. I can also attack my opponent. So I can play, for example, this way. And now white has a problem as well. I'm not the only one with problems. Both groups, blacks and whites, have problems. So it's okay. And if white plays something further, like for example here, like white played in the game, it's still possible for me to play here at c11, and this way I already have a base, so I don't need to worry that much about this group. If I kept playing somewhere else, like for example now, if I just jump with this stone, I think white will play here at c12, and now there starts to be already a problem because I'm under pressure, but white not so much. This white group just starts to be stronger. White has a base, white has more space for himself, so it will be already easier to attack my group. If at this point I'm not able to put big pressure over this stone, this opponent's group which is going to appear there, I think it's much more important, much more urgent for me to come back to defend this other group. So at this case I just defended here. This way this group here cannot be attacked that easily. But still, I think that it's not necessary to defend at this very moment, because yeah, if at this moment I defend, I think it's rather slow, and here still there are some problems that in the future white can still capture Ko and destroy a little bit of territory. Might be not so easy for me to defend their territory. But if I play somewhere else and later white plays somewhere here, this my move is not meant for taking territory. This move that I played now, this move here, is not for taking points, it's for making a base. So when I have a base somewhere here, it's fine. I don't need to have many points. If in the future white plays, for example, here, no problem. Like if I feel like at that moment that I need to answer, I can just simply play, for example, this way and sacrifice that stone at b15. It's not that big problem because this was not my goal. My goal was not to have points. My goal was to have base. And also because I play here at c11, white is not able to make a base for himself that easily. So it's kind of center. In the game later white played here, so white wants to strengthen his stone and also surround my other stone. So if this stone is completely blocked, then yeah, it's actually not that bad for white, right? If white has there also so many points in that corner, for example, if this is all white's territory, this becomes all white's territory, it's huge. Actually, I knew before, even earlier, like if I play this move, that white is going to play this one, most likely. Like I thought this is one of the options, but if white plays there, I don't need to worry that much either, because I still have an opportunity to play in the corner and make a life there. So even if white separates me here and kills this stone, I'm going to make life in that corner, so altogether white is not going to have there that many points. But I need to play it right now, I think, because if I don't play it right now and I play somewhere else, white is going to add there some other stone. For example, if I play somewhere here, white can add defending the corner. And then I'm dead here with this stone. Of course, there are some agi in white shape, but altogether, yeah, it's already quite big territory. Actually, before defending the corner, white can also make sure that this is played, so that I cannot damage there anything like here on the second line. This is already closed, and after this move, for example, white can already play here, and now it's a problem, because white gets suddenly quite a lot in the lower left. So I feel like now is the time to continue right away. White cut me, I want to cut him as well. Like in similar cases without this stone, on something like this, in a different order. So if this is the shape and white plays somewhere else, later it's possible to play this way. So black plays like this, white plays here, and later black can try to cut. If there are really no stones nearby, it's possible to play this way and later cut, so that white is simply not able to connect here. So it's also possible to try something different. It's also possible to try to cut here white's shape, and usually white plays this kind of exchange first and later white is trying to connect. So white usually plays something like this. In the game, white didn't play this exchange first. White didn't play here. White started with this Atari and later played also here Atari, and then this exchange I was able to capture, and later white came back. I can make two eyes. So the difference between playing this Atari earlier or later is that at this point, if this Atari was forced earlier, this shape will look like this. So then if white comes back, if white plays here, when black is making life, generally trying to make life, then this kind of move might be center. Plus for white, some small minus for black. In this shape there are there are some problems around this cutting point, so most likely black will be playing from this side to make life, but still it's necessary to play from that side. So this is the problem. If I'm able to capture the stone as I played in the game, and later white comes back and later I play here, I don't want to play here on the second line. I want to play from the other side, so that in the future, if I'm able to get something like this, the stone from this side, this is what I'm going to do. My group is already alive in the lower left, so I basically want to force my opponent to get his stone on the second line, and in the future, in this shape, actually there is even still a possibility to do some problems to my opponent. After the game, I thought that actually I could just start to play here earlier, even before playing at b2. I should play probably somewhere here before, so that I make sure my opponent needs to cut me, I just make life. So I think this could be a bit better for me this way. The main thing is that opponent's shape looks a bit weird because of this move that opponent played here at A. This is a move that is looking quite strange. Like normally if white has some kind of wall nearby, white has some kind of extension here, and now having also this A stone, it's like not protecting like entirely this cutting point. There are still some problems. For example, if this A stone was in this spot, if this A stone was here, then it looks more or less okay, because if I cut, then white has time to come back, for example here on the bottom. So if black cuts like this, for example, if ladders don't work, it's not possible to capture the stone in any way, then white still has an opportunity to come back on the bottom. So yeah, there is the fight going on, but white doesn't need to worry that much about his own stones. Right. If this stone is higher after this move, if white comes back, it's basically if we switch the order and there was this stone here played earlier, so it looks like black is cutting and white is protecting the stronger side instead of the weaker side. So it's not this direction that white should be adding the stone. Yeah. So at this point, white defended and I play it to make life. White played now Tenuki. Well, yeah, I think it's good time to play Tenuki. Yeah, and after this move, I played here this pincer. It's quite common. Then white jumped, I played this exchange, white played here at the S line S7, S6, and now white has here this Tesuji. It's also quite common. Basically the white's plan is to connect. If black plays like this, white is able to play this exchange and connect. So now this exchange, AB, it looks like a nice exchange for white, because white is getting a wall. So this is actually white's goal normally to take. And I don't want to let white play this way. Like black had their 2 stones on the start. 2 stones, it's a lot. So black needs to have their more points in general, because 2 stones advantage there. But if white is getting a good shape somewhere outside, white is getting some wall, then black is simply not getting enough. Even though there are these points, even there are like 15 points in that corner, more or less, it's still not enough, because white is safe. White is already safe, and this is the problem. The most popular move for black is to cut. After white plays like this, black cuts. Yeah, here actually the order is quite important, because for black this move is natural because of this exchange being already played. After white played AB, then if black plays this O7, if black plays here C, it's actually okay, because this AB exchange is not so good for white, right, in this case. And if white just starts to play with this move, then when black comes back, it would be actually good for white to have this exchange played, because if white doesn't have this exchange, after these kind of moves, black can just go up and try to cut. So this doesn't work that well for white. White needs this exchange, but at this point black can already play somewhere else. And in this case, this exchange AB is quite a good exchange for black, because now it's not so easy for white to destroy the corner. So actually in this case the order is quite important. So white should play from this side and then play P4. And in this case, normally black plays here at O7 to separate and fight. But here there are also some problems in the corner. Like if white plays somewhere here, it's still like quite complex, this fight which is appearing. For example, if black just makes life in that corner, white has here still some center moves, and still there is S3. Here white can play something like this. Earlier white can also just defend himself, and there are all the time some agi around this shape, this one or this one. White can make it complicated. When I played this game, I felt like after the lower left, after this one, the game looks quite good for me, so I wanted to play it rather simple, but without losing territory. So I didn't want to play like this, so I decided to play here at P3. After this move, I didn't finish, I forgot about this. Yeah, white can also play this way. So if white wants to play it simple anyway, white can choose also to play like this, and then white gets center, white can play something here. But the main thing that I wanted to basically avoid, it was that my opponent will start here a fight in the game that I felt I'm ahead. At this point, like, I think maybe white played a little bit like strange move. I think this would be a bit more convenient for white. So that's why I think that I was ahead at that point, because first white let me create a nice base with one of my groups. So after this I could create a base, and later white played here also all the sequence after this cut up to this point. So I thought I should be ahead. That's why I thought I can actually take some territory. I wanted to play at some point some jump, so that later it's possible for me to go up this way, so that this will be activated. I wanted to get somehow at some point on the top that it will be possible for me to cut here at F5, so I can also kill these 2 stones. Yeah, so I played here these several exchanges. It's not that easy to jump now, because after jump later there is a problem here with the cut. So after this move, like all the time there is a problem here, later another cutting point, so it's not that easy. That's why I just extended. Yeah, but if white extended again, then I can already jump, I think, because then after this move I can just come back, and here it's already possible to defend. White cannot kill these 4 stones anymore. If white extended, then I would jump, and probably that's why white didn't really want to extend at this point. White played here. On one hand, white doesn't want to play this exchange, because now the corner is stronger, so it's more difficult to play anything here inside. But on the other hand, this exchange is still kind of necessary to block well outside, because now after this exchange, when black connects, white is able to play here, and now there is basically no weakness in white's shape that black could be able to cut white somewhere there. I thought actually, yeah, why not? This move I could already cut, and okay, I don't need to cut it right away, but this way I can create some weaknesses in white's shape. White, yeah, for white is not that easy to defend. If white connects, then I can already take the stone. And now white has a dilemma. Either white plays from this side and I'm connected to go upwards on the top, but on the bottom I have already a group that is alive. So after this move, it will be not so easy for white to attack these 4 stones on the bottom. But if white plays here, then I can already capture the stone and I'm safe on the bottom anyway. So I don't need this stone here at q4, which I could choose after p4, after white played here. I could choose just to defend, but this way, if my stone is not there, but somewhere on the bottom, it gives me much more points. So this way I would be quite happy. And in the game, white play it here. Actually, if I was white, I would also play in that spot, so that if I decide to take the stone now, then this move is not that necessary for white. It would be more convenient to have it either here, some connection like this, somewhere here, or even just adding a stone somewhere else on the board. Yeah, so now it would look already much better for white than if the stone was here. White played here, and I think I just played here too fast. This is my mistake. This move is not so good. My idea was that I wanted to force white to play from this side to make some exchanges on the bottom. White cannot play here right now because of this cutting point, but if white connects somewhere from this side, later white is able to play here some exchanges, so that at the end white will have an empty triangle, a bad shape. But white can just play somewhere else. So now when white defended here, I felt like, oh, it's not good, because actually my 2 stones are next to his strong group. So this is the problem, that later white will be able to attack these 2 stones. It would be better if I just play somewhere else. Just Tenuki would be better than playing around. Like for example, just adding a stone here where I wanted to have it earlier, or just cutting the stone first, so that it's not possible for white to do any problems in that part in the future, that either I need to defend and later white gets the center, or if I cut him, then white can try to go deep inside and make something crazy there. But this is what I played, so white defended, then I played here at m4. Yeah, so I got quite many points on the bottom, but now white has a target. White can attack these 2 stones. Now they are quite big. I don't really want to sacrifice them because they are already big. If there was just 1 stone, if it was just this, then I could actually accept to sacrifice it. But if there are already 2 stones, it's just too big. I don't have that stone in another place on the board, so yeah, I already invested it there in a rather empty area, so now I should defend it, unfortunately. I don't need to start with rescuing these stones right away. I could first place something on the top to get a base to another stone that I already had there at q16. But at some point I will need to place something around these 2 stones, and will need to defend them. So here in the game, white played this exchange and later played here this q15. My first thought was to play here, but later I thought, okay, white will make this exchange and then we'll play like this. I don't have a base, and it will be not so easy for me to attack white. And this is something that I wanted to avoid. I wanted to play in a way that, okay, white can attack me, but maybe at some point it will be also possible for me to attack him. If I can do like this, then it's fine. That's why I decided to play here this jump, in order to make an opportunity for me in the future to try to attack these 3 stones. If I play higher, white makes a bit larger base, then it's hard already to make it small enough to be able to kill. But at this point, if I play this jump at r12, I think it will be possible for me to try to kill these 3 stones in the future, if somehow I manage to escape, and then if white has no escape route with these 3 stones for himself. But before I played there, I played here some exchange, and only then I played here at r12. Why this exchange? Because if I don't play it, then at some point white might play here and it will be center for white. But if I play this exchange now, then this is not center. So this can be some help for me because this is my center. So that's why I can play so deep here on the third line, because I know that this kind of move is my center, so it will be easier for me to escape. In the game, white played here, so yeah, white also wants to attack me. How to escape? Yeah, I can play now 2-space jump because I have some help. It's not that easy to cut it, so I can play like this. White here played some exchanges, and yeah, but it's not possible for white to completely block black, so I could still escape with these stones. So after these exchanges, white still needs to take care of his own group on the top, and like this I'm able to enter the center. If the game goes like this, I feel quite good because I have more points. I should have more points than my opponent. This is quite big. White doesn't have one very big territory. White might have some points here, white might have some points here, and now this is what white kind of needs to try, is to play something here on the top to try to have here some points around this area. So in the game, white played here, and it's actually not that easy for me to fight against this, because if at any point white gets stronger, then he can just kill my group. So at this point I just defended, and later white added here another stone, so white is aiming to get there some territory. I don't need this stone, and here I was actually wondering for a while, should I play there or no, because it's still not going to be possible for white to kill this group. It's possible that this move is simply slow, but my idea was that when I'm getting this group stronger, I'm also making opponent's group weaker. So when I play something like this, at some point white will need to take care of this group which is here, this big group, because later some other moves that in any time like I might be able to get, they will be center. So that whatever I play outside, basically in the future, if I play somewhere here or from the other side, something like this, maybe some other moves, they might help me to maybe even try to kill all this group from white. So this move, it's not center now, but it gives me some center in the future to be able to attack that white group. It also makes my group stronger. If I don't play there, my opponent will have their center moves. So it will be possible for white to lead me, for example, like this. I will have here some stones, white will have here some stones, and in the future it might be also possible for white to try to get here some territory in the center. Yeah, so this is some opportunity for white if I don't play that way. So that's why I just added here a stone at M11. Yeah, and now white started to play for points. So this exchange, I don't really mind, because now I'm getting also stronger outside. I thought that after I played this move, white already thought that I'm strong enough in the center, so I can be even stronger, because yeah, I just this extra strength that I'm getting here by extension, it's not that important for me if I already have some strong shape outside. But if my shape, for example on the right, was weaker, then the stone here at D11 could be very helpful for me. So that's why white didn't want to play there earlier, but now probably felt like it's already the time to play it and get here actually quite many points on the left. Yeah, because this extra strength like is not that important, because I am already not that weak with this group on the right. And now white played here this move at N18. I thought on the start I just defend and I am alive, but later I thought no, it's like slow. White already got this previous exchange, this one for this one. That one was more urgent because white could play this jump. At this point, if I ignore it, white is able to play here this jump, and it's not that easy for me to defend the base. So white would be kind of able to destroy my ice base in center if I still want to play nearby. If I still want to add my move here at R18 to at least take one eye, then it means that white destroyed the other eye in center. At that point I thought, okay, it's quite big to defend. But here it's not that easy actually to kill this group. White would need to play with some strange moves like this on the first line, and would need to be able to connect in some strange shapes and not so many liberties later on the first line. And later I found this Tesuji, and the following one, white forgot to play this exchange. With every next move it was just more difficult to do this, and later there was a nice Tesuji. Now it's possible for me to play this move. I cannot kill white, because white can play like this. When I connect, white can play like this to be able to connect. Yes, it's possible, but now I can kill these two stones on the top, and it's quite big. in this case, white has just no points to win the game. Also, if white is just trying to cut me outside, it's not a problem for me because, okay, white is cutting here these two stones. White has some influence and possibility to get something in the center, but if I kill all this group on the right, it's just too big. In the game, white played this exchange. Here also, white cannot connect. I mean, after this connection, I can cut this way, so white's group is still separated. Actually, even if white could make life, I think it's still good for me to play this exchange because I'm just making opponent weaker. So at least this group, this part will become weaker if white is separated, that white needs to make life with the other group. And probably also, even if white could make life, then he would need to play some exchanges that will help. And actually, it's not that easy for white to make there some simple life. Like after this move, white can still try to play. Probably it's necessary to play this exchange first to make sure that black also has some problems, and after this move is already possible to play here. Okay, so this would be probably more interesting for white, and it's actually not that easy for me to play something different at this very moment. If I play something here, this is my center, I mean this is white center, so later it's possible to cut. So at this point I think white needs to move somewhere with this group. In the game, white first defended here, and this was a problem, so that I think at this point this group might have more serious problems. White can play here and make some ko. After this move, white can play here and there will be a ko. White didn't want it, so white played here. At this point, if I just come back and I defend everything, then white can already try to make life. But at some point I saw that, okay, if I play like this and white makes this ko, then there can be a problem, because if white wins this ko, later it will be possible for white to play here. And later I thought, actually, yeah, I just played here and now I think white is dead. I didn't find a way for white to do anything basically around. Like I just saw that white can try to play something like this, but I will just have more liberties. At this point I have much more because I get a big eye. I didn't find a way that white could counter. So in the game, white played from this side and just let me kill the group. At this point is already very good for black and just need to deliver. So now playing safe. Yeah, this cut maybe doesn't look like safe, but it's an asking move. After this move, I can check if white wants to play this way and later defend. So I can see what kind of agi I will have in the future in this white shape, or white will have like this. In this case, I know that it will be possible for me to get these several points back. So I would play Tenuk in this case, but I have this move for the future that I can reduce here this points, this territory. White played from the other side. White played like this. This Tesuji was there. White could kill these stones, but white played here this exchange first on the left. White played this move and later white played answered. So I have some center move here. I can still damage a little bit by connecting with these other stones. Yeah, but I don't need to do this right away. Like first I should take care of this what can be in danger. So this group here on the left. So I just played here something to be safer. Just basically that this group is alive. White played here several exchanges trying to get some points, but altogether I think white just didn't really achieve this what he was looking for. So I got center, and at this point I could just continue. At some point here white played later to try to attack me, but I just made life. I cut him here and I killed his group, so my group was alive anyway. But because he was separated, then I could kill the other group, and then it was over. Yeah. Thank you very much for your attention, and see you in some tournament. Yeah. Thank you. Bye.